Greetings once again, Shinobi. Duuz-Diz-Din, back again with Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, where previously, Shikamaru has caught wind of the idea that their memories have been altered because of Sumire's previously secret conversation with Amado. The idea that everyone's memories had been tampered with is now in Shikamaru's mind, and while he meets with the elders to discuss potentially allying with Boruto despite his status as the Hokage killer, again that hasn't really stopped them when it comes to Orochimaru, but Shikamaru wants this alliance in order to stop Code, who he views as a greater threat, but the elders are having none of it, as having Boruto run free shows the weakness of their village, especially in the face of the daimyo, who control the monetary gain of the village. You also find that Shikamaru has not fully accepted the position of Hokage, as it's obvious he seems to believe that Naruto just may return one day. After he leaves, he gets in touch with Ino, wanting her to establish a private link for him. Meanwhile, Ada lets Kawaki know the situation with the sentient god trees and their objective. Kawaki senses Boruto's presence in the village, but before he can give chase, Mitsuki knocks him out, letting Shikamaru know that he is in pursuit. Meanwhile, as Boruto has a heart-to-heart with Sumire and Sarada, letting Sarada know about the situation with Sasuke being sealed within a god tree, he's contacted by Shikamaru, who lets it be known that while he can't do it out in the open, he has decided to work alongside Boruto, knowing that their memories have been altered, and letting Boruto know about Mitsuki's incoming attack. As Mitsuki goes in his sage mode, Boruto does his best to ward off the attack, ultimately deciding to run. However, Mitsuki has managed to plant a sensor on Boruto and continues to pursue. So before Boruto can talk further with Shikamaru, looks as though he's gonna have to settle things with Mitsuki. While it's unfortunate to see Mitsuki be viewed as the enemy, all things considered, especially since in terms of the manga, we really don't get to see Mitsuki do much. My only hope is that Mitsuki might be able to come to his senses as well. Or at the very least, Boruto can make this quick for the dude. What'll happen next? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, cover page of Mitsuki, who, I'm not really digging Mitsuki's look here, honestly. When he was younger, the sleeve thing was kind of charming, but now it's just like, what a weirdo. Right. Boruto Chapter 7, 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 7, The Whereabouts of the Sun. That's interesting. Isn't that what Mitsuki used to call Boruto, his son? And not like child son, like sun in the sky son, alright? I mean, hey, if Mitsuki can be brought around and we can get all of, the primary Team 7 of Boruto on the same page, I'd be down with that. I really would. Because Mitsuki's just kind of a problem at this point. And I don't like viewing Mitsuki like that. We pick up with Mitsuki's inner thought as he thinks to himself, I am the moon, hovering in the darkness, with no light of my own to cast. And he views Kawaki's back, thinking, which is why I need you, you who are my sun. For as long as you illuminate me, I can shine too, and light up the darkness with my lunar glow. You give my life meaning, permission to live and be here. You make me feel that, Kawaki. And he thinks of Kawaki's gaze falling upon him, although it's a cold one. Man, if only there was some way for Mitsuki to shake through this. But he's so motivated by hatred. But does he even remember how he started having that hatred? It was because Boruto was injured. But getting that through to Mitsuki, I don't know how you'll do it. I want this to be the chapter where Mitsuki realizes. Alright, we pick up with Mitsuki in Sage mode, coming at Boruto, who stands his ground in the forest. Boruto launches several shurikens, and Mitsuki deflects them with his chakra snake. They hit nearby trees, as 3 of Mitsuki's chakra snakes go at Boruto, who readies himself. Boruto proceeds to leap out of the way of the snakes that doggedly pursue him as he falls further and further back. Boruto then uses what looks to be the flying Raijin in order to appear next to one of the throwing stars that were deflected to a nearby tree. Nice. It wouldn't be bad if Boruto implanted that skill on most of his weaponry. Mitsuki is taken off guard by Boruto's sudden disappearance. Boruto, up in a tree, calls out to Mitsuki, saying, Where's Kawaki? I was expecting him to be tailing me, not you. Mitsuki looks up to Boruto coldly saying, what does it matter when I'm the one who's here right now? Meanwhile, Shikamaru, in mental communication with Boruto, says, Kawaki's out cold, thanks to Mitsuki's snake venom. He didn't want you to catch on to him through Kawaki's Otsutsuki aura, is what I was told. In short, Mitsuki's gone rogue. Boruto pauses, listening to this. Mitsuki, still ready to attack, says, I think I understand your power level. It must be way off the charts to make Code retreat, which tells me Kawaki is no match for you right now. I can't let himself get killed no matter the cost. Boruto calls out, don't, Mitsuki. If he doesn't stand a chance against me, neither do you. So this fight is pointless. Mitsuki tells Boruto, there's one reason why I left Kawaki behind, so I can let loose completely without deferring to him. Boruto then questions, what do you mean? Mitsuki tells him that's between me and him, as Mitsuki unleashes several chakra snakes, or several snakes from within his sleeves. Oh, they then all transform into clones of Mitsuki. Naruto questions, snake clones? Oh, jeez. And all of the clones emit the chakra snakes that Mitsuki is, that go after Boruto, destroying the tree he was hiding in. Boruto then goes racing through the forest. As he calls back to Mitsuki, more is not necessarily better, you know? You're destroying the environment. He's so dismissive. As Mitsuki continues to give chase, he tells him, you're the root of the problem, so just die already for the sake of this world. As Mitsuki continues to tear up the forest, pursuing Boruto, Boruto calls back, I may be to blame for sure, but I can't die yet. I have tons of things to do, which is why he then whirls around and launches himself forward towards Mitsuki, saying, I don't have time to play around. He weaves in between the chakra snake and goes straight for one of the clones, readying to unsheath his sword, chakra lightning emanating through his hand. Ooh, as he cuts right through one of the clones with ease. As he avoids another snake, he cuts through another clone. Another clone comes up behind Boruto with a kunai ready to strike, but Boruto easily cuts through it. He cuts through even more of the snake clones. Mitsuki forms some hand signs as he thinks to himself, so fast, what a monster. Boruto then sheaths his sword and does some hand signs as well. Mitsuki unleashes light snake lightning. Snake lightning! While Boruto unleashes Thunderbolt. Boruto used Thunderbolt. It's not very effective, as their two electric attacks cancel each other out. Ooh, through the smoke that was kicked up by the two attacks, Mitsuki notices all too late that Boruto has already moved in on him. And as Boruto goes in with his sword, he stops, barely an inch from Mitsuki's neck. Mitsuki, seeing that he's in an unwinnable situation, undoes his sage mode and coldly tells Boruto, go ahead, get it over with. Boruto takes a moment and then tells Mitsuki, you think you came prepared to die, when in fact, it's that you've lost hope. You're feeling desperate. Mitsuki questions, what? Boruto tells him, it's because your faith has been shaken. What you believe, or rather, what you want to believe in, you can no longer trust. Ah, okay. I'd been wondering, because Mitsuki just blindly following Kawaki, that doesn't quite feel right. There was a reason why Mitsuki attached himself to Boruto. And Kawaki doesn't emanate that same feeling. At least that's not what I feel. It just hurts Mitsuki's character too much for that. And I'm not even the biggest Mitsuki fan. Like, I like him well enough, but it's just like, Mitsuki questions, what are you talking about? Boruto elaborates, saying, Kawaki, the sun that had been illuminating you, lost its radiance at some point. Isn't that what you feel? Hearing this, Shikamaru asks, Ino, can you pick up Mitsuki's voice too? I want to hear the full conversation. Ino tells him, don't be ridiculous. That would open up our conversation to them as well. It's way too risky. Mitsuki then tells Boruto, you don't know a thing, Boruto. You're a grudge-bearing traitor. Stop pretending to know me. Boruto then sheaths his sword and tells Mitsuki, but you see, I do know the current whereabouts of your son at the very least. Mitsuki questions, what? And Boruto just brazenly says, I'm your son. It's that simple. Anger fills Mitsuki's eyes. He then summons a snake that wraps around Boruto. But Boruto, he doesn't flinch, not one bit. Mitsuki shouts, how dare you? You're my son? You have some nerve. And Boruto calls his bluff, saying, and yet, why hasn't this snake attacked me yet? Mitsuki, obviously shaken, questions, why haven't you gotten loose? You could have a few different ways. And Boruto just simply says, I bet you realized quite a while back that he's not it, that Kawaki's not your son. It's obvious that Mitsuki's taken aback, but Boruto pushes, saying, no matter how close you stick to him, he refuses to illuminate you. Mitsuki looks away, saying, can't be. That's not possible. Boruto tells him, it's natural to feel confused, and you know it's true, for you're the only one who gets to decide what it takes to be your son. Mitsuki slowly undoes his snake binding. He then looks back up at Boruto, questioning, who the hell are you? Boruto tells him, don't worry, I have no intention of killing Kawaki. That's a misunderstanding. Though I do need to settle things with him at some point. But that's between us bros. Just the two of us. Boruto then turns away from Mitsuki. Mitsuki then questions, why did you kill Lord Seventh? And without looking at Mitsuki, Boruto tells him, Lord Seventh is alive and safe. Much to Mitsuki as well as Ino's own shock. But Shikamaru, he already knows what's up. Boruto then looks at Mitsuki, saying, his wife too. That's all I can say right now. Shikamaru continues to listen, while Mitsuki begins to ask, Boruto, what are... As Boruto continues to look away, he tells Mitsuki, Mitsuki, I believe you're perfectly capable of shining on your own, but if you insist on needing a son, come find me. Anytime, he says with a bit of a smile as he looks at Mitsuki, who is obviously a bit shaken by this conversation. Speaking of which... Ino thinks to herself, what the heck? Naruto's alive? And Hinata. Shikamaru then telepathically tells Boruto, get yourself alone, Boruto. We need to talk. Meanwhile, Kawaki has made his unconscious self push through back into the house, where Ada notices him. She calls out, Kawaki? As Kawaki rubs his neck, he says, where the hell is that bastard Mitsuki? Meanwhile, Shikamaru is having a much overdue conversation, as he says, so in summary, thanks to Ida's Shinjutsu omnipotence, our memories have all been rewritten to reflect what Kawaki desires. Boruto tells him, yeah, just so you know, don't bother trying to figure out how omnipotence actually works. You'll soon forget it anyway. Shikamaru questions, what? Boruto tells him, in fact, this is far from the first time you're hearing about it. Sarada and class rep have already told you numerous times. Oh wow, he actually doesn't even remember the conversations he had with Sarada and Sumire. Holy crap. Shikamaru's taken aback, saying, no way. Boruto tells him, the very concept of omnipotence won't stick in your memory, ever. It fades away over time. That's part of its power. So I need you to trust that Kawaki and I switched places without any proof. Shikamaru and Ino listen to this intently, as Boruto tells them, though you did figure it out on your own. That's no mean feat. It's damn impressive. Yeah, I think when they themselves manage to figure it out, that's when it starts to kind of get broken down a little bit. But damn, to have taken 3 years, fuck. Shikamaru then questions, how do we reverse it? Boruto tells him we can't. Those altered memories are all real to you. Besides, even if we could, it wouldn't resolve the issue between me and him. Kawaki sealed Dad away in order to protect him, so there's no point unless he's satisfied and undoes it himself. Otherwise, he's just bound to do it again. Shikamaru says, if I were you, I'd be thinking about rescuing Naruto and killing Kawaki. Boruto pauses, but then tells Shikamaru, he may want to kill me, but I don't feel the same. I just want to slug him and then make up. That's all. Damn, kid. You are your father's son. It's one of those things where it's just like, oh no, I couldn't do that. It'd be like, fuck you, Kawaki. Screwed up my whole entire life. I couldn't. But, I mean, hey, the same situation with Sasuke, essentially. Shikamaru tells him, alright, I hear you. But Boruto, if you have no intent to kill Kawaki, you need to understand that you have to continue taking false blame regarding Naruto. Boruto doesn't respond as Ino listens. I can only imagine what's going through her mind, honestly. It's just like, what the hell am I listening to? Shikamaru then explains, seeing as omnipotence effects lies with Kawaki, I like to avoid making him feel cornered again, which means not exposing what he did quite yet. So you'll need to stay a fugitive. You okay with that? Boruto simply says, yeah, that's fine. I wasn't expecting otherwise. Damn, kid. That is a lot to be taken on, though. Jeez, man. Just the idea of that. That's a special kind of suck. We then pick up with the God Trees, as we have Jura, seems to be adamantly reading a bunch of books, as he's sitting down saying, it's curious, this world. The more knowledge I acquire, the more questions arise, and the more things I don't know. Okay, that's the world. Jura seems to be talking to Hidari, as Jura says, if anything, the knowledge reveals my ignorance. It's fascinating. Jura then closes the book he was reading, saying, by the way, it's been gradually occurring to me that none of the books here seem to hold the answers to my question. Wait, so let's pay a visit to Uzumaki Naruto. Can they just up and do that? Or are they talking about going after Kawaki? I am glad, though. I'm so glad that the Mitsuki situation, for the most part, has kind of been dealt with. I hope he could come to his own conclusion and understand that Boruto is not the bad guy. Because again, I have not watched the Boruto anime, so a lot of the maybe deeper feelings I could have towards Mitsuki, they ain't there. But from what I've read through the Boruto manga of Mitsuki, it's like, no, I feel like you should be able to suss this out. That something ain't right. And it feels like the manga has also been dropping moments and hints that Mitsuki should be catching on a little bit, that something ain't right about what he feels towards Kawaki. And I'm glad we addressed that. Thank you. My question now is, with the revelation to both Ino, Shikamaru, and Mitsuki, how many more people can Boruto get on his side? Because enough of these characters he knows to some degree. But, the way he described things to Mitsuki, it shuffled around omnipotence. It didn't directly relate to omnipotence. So some of the things that Boruto has said should hopefully stick in Mitsuki's mind. And Ino and Shikamaru have not been influenced by those who aren't influenced by omnipotence. They have been influenced by people who are affected. So that feels like we're starting to find cracks in the armor of omnipotence. But it takes being very close to the truth. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to suss it out. So I really hope that nothing alters Shikamaru and Ino and Mitsuki's memories about this whole situation. Because, there has to be some kind of back door through all of this. And so far, it seems like for the most part we found it. And even when it comes to Himawari, it's like there's something there. There's something she knows. So I feel like we'll also get Himawari. But we've also kind of put the Inashika trio, the newer version in it as well. And considering their parents, well, at least not Choji, but Ino and Shikamaru are also involved. So I feel like they'll start to maybe get a little bit in on it too. I do find myself also wondering, at one point I'll get around to watching the anime, but it leaves me wondering because a lot of the anime characters and anime-only characters were also very close to Boruto from what I've seen. So I'm wondering what they'll look like when the anime comes back around with a time skip, as well as some of these revelations. Will we have moments where they figure things out? Like, what's going to happen with that? Because whereas the Boruto anime was, putting filler in left, right, and center, with the way 2 Blue Vortex has been working out, there's not time for any detours. Unless you just want to tell stories about Sasuke and Boruto going out into the wild and then Boruto training with Kashi and Koji. But aside from that, I'm kind of left to wondering, where does some of this go? How many characters will start to connect the dots? And how much of a ripple effect will that have going forward? Is this a situation that will continue to cascade to more and more characters? Or will this stay isolated? That's my biggest question. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye.